Developed by LucasArts and published by LucasArts and Nintendo, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer was originally released in 1999 for Windows, Mac, Game Boy Color, Dreamcast, and Nintendo 64. In 2020, it received an HD re-release published by Aspyr for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. For this review, I played the HD re-release on my Xbox One X. I've owned this game since I was a kid for my N64, but I never played it all that much. I only remember playing it a few times with my sister where we would just mess around in split screen, trying to see how high we could get the pod racer to jump or how many rocks we could destroy before blowing up, but we never played the game seriously. I tried playing it seriously, doing all the missions and everything, but I got bored and never really touched it since. However, when I saw the HD re-release on the Xbox store, I decided to give it another go, and honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is a racing game set in the Star Wars universe, obviously. It's based on the pod racing scene from the Star Wars movie The Phantom Menace. The game doesn't have much of a story, and honestly, I'm fine with that. I don't play racing games for their stories anyways. What's important is the gameplay, and this game plays very well. The controls are responsive, and as you progress through the game, you unlock new upgrades for your pod racer, which improve durability, speed, handling, etc., so the gameplay feels even better the longer you play. The speed on screen shows that you go upwards 500 to 600 miles per hour, and it definitely feels like it. Everything zooms by, and just one mistake can send you crashing. There are some tracks that I feel were poorly designed considering the speed you're traveling at, but overall I enjoyed most of the tracks. The visuals look very good in HD. Obviously this is not a remaster, so by today's standards the graphics aren't that great, but even so, the colors are vibrant and the game looks sharp and clean. I actually prefer HD ports and re-releases rather than complete remasters. Remasters and remakes can mess with how the gameplay feels, and the change in the colors and lighting often ruins the original feel and atmosphere of a game. I think the remastered Halo games are a good example of that. Yes, they look a lot prettier, but I honestly prefer playing them in their original form. So I'm actually happy with just an HD re-release of Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. I have no problem with the way it looks, and actually I prefer it. I think it looks very good. Before I started playing, I honestly thought I would get bored with this game like I did when I was younger, but I beat the entire game in just one day. It was very fun and it hooked me right away. It's not very long. There are 7 races per tournament and 3 tournaments in all, which take about an hour each to complete. After that, there's an extra 4th tournament that unlocks, which has 4 races, and that took about another 30 minutes to complete. So I beat the entire game in under 4 hours. If you like racing games, there are definitely better ones out there, but this is a solid, albeit short, retro racing game. My overall score for Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed this game, a lot more than I thought I would. It has the same 2-player split screen it had on the N64, but unfortunately there's no online multiplayer, and I wish they had at the very least added up to 4-player split screen, but as a re-release it is faithful to the original, so I guess I can't complain too much. However, I think $15 is a bit too steep for what you're getting. Like I said, they could have at least added online multiplayer, or 4-player split screen, or at least online leaderboards, and none of that exists here. There just isn't that much content. Aside from the tournament mode, there's free play and time attack, but even still, that's not much. I bought it on sale as I usually do with most games, and that's what I recommend you do here as well. For its time, this was a great game, and even by today's standards, it was still very fun. I enjoyed it tremendously, but there just isn't much to do here after you beat the tournament, and there's really no incentive to come back and play it again. Anyways, that's it for the review. Thank you for watching. Moltok, out.